that I removed my dog. You never asked me a single question. Maybe you should have read that card before. Yeah, I'm way familiar with it. I actually have it in my pocket. Well, folks, welcome to another episode of Behind the Wasatch Curtain with Standing Tall 710. Today we're bringing American Disabilities Act violation to you, live from Spanish Fork Splash Pad. Got a city worker over here who thinks the American Disabilities Act only applies when she decides it applies. She refuses to identify herself. Hey. Not quite sure who I'm seeing there. Let me step in the shadow. Food Koi. Hey. So, I've got a city worker over here who showed up demanding I remove my service animal from the property. When I ask her to identify herself, she refuses. Well, it could be better. 525571.
In the park.
Service animal.
Awesome. Can you
Service animal.
put it on a leash for me?
Service animal. Can't do her job when she's on a leash.
Okay, then.
Service animal.
No, that's totally awesome.
American Disabilities Act. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Your other worker has already got me set. I'm trying to calm down. Let me explain.
Okay.
Your other worker already has me
The only
upset.
thing is with the state.
My dog never went in that splash pad.
Around like
My dog never went in that splash pad. My daughter was in that splash pad and she shut it down because I come on the park with a service animal. It's all on camera.
Okay, that's fine.
It's called a lawsuit.
Talk to you.
I'm trying to calm down. Let me set this back here so that we can both be in the frame. I don't want you to think I'm just on you in any way.
She's just doing her job as far as like the health.
My dog never went in there.
That's totally fine.
She didn't do her job. She came up demanding I remove my animal, not following the ADA.
In there, and that's.
My dog was never in there.
Okay, and then
my daughter was in there. She got mad because I didn't listen to her.
If you don't tone it down, I'm going to have somebody else.
You go ahead and call whoever you need to call. You go ahead. This is a lawsuit that you guys are looking at.
Talk to you civilly.
And I'm going to show you something real quick.
I'm not arguing what it is.
Service animal.
I'm not arguing.
Service animal.
What did I say when I first came? Holy awesome.
My dog was never in that pad. So you guys shouldn't even be talking to me about your bullshit rule. She got mad because I told her service animal.
Oh, that's awesome. But I'm trying to talk to you.
You're bringing a lawsuit upon your city is what's happening. I would like her identification for the lawsuit I'm filing. I need to know who this person is, because I will be filing it against her personally as well as the city. And just so y'all know, you are live. This is live broadcast. Come on, Jazz, find me. You're still at work? I want to know her name. Tell me her name and I'm out of here. But she's bringing a lawsuit upon the city. You guys think it's cool to mess with people with disabilities? That's not cool at all. American Disabilities Act guarantees access. That includes the splash pad too.
I have to shut it off due to other kids in there.
There was no other kids there.
Okay, but here's the thing. With my stuff that I get my license from the health and the county, I can't have an animal in it, even if it's a service animal.
My animal never went in there.
Okay, I understand.
Let's clarify that.
I'm just telling you though, for my part of it.
I'm letting you know.
Okay.
American Disability.
I know the whole thing
Guarantees access.
but it can't in there.
I understand what you're trying to portray.
Okay, but it can't go in this
Guaranteed
box.
access. My dog never went
I
in the splash
understand
pad.
that. I'm not saying it did.
She
It's
shut
just-
that down on
I'm
my
just
child.
letting you know.
I
that
need
for
her
our part-
identification
Okay, I'll
so
give
that I
that-
can file
I'm
the
not
lawsuit.
until you tell the police.
And that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
But
I don't care.
I'm just letting you know. I come here trying to.
And
talk to
you're doing awesome.
I
Listen,
understand
I've
that's
already
a-
toned down.
That's a
Tremendous.
service animal. That's totally awesome. I
She
get that,
interacts
and they
in
have
any way other
they
than
have
that.
them in here all the time. We allow them in here. It's once that the splash pad, if they go in there, not
They
saying
did.
yours didn't.
I got it on
Okay,
camera.
that's fine. We have to shut it down. As far as the health, there's the county and the health, they shut it down. I had one in the other day. It shuts down and it sucks because kids are in there. And I have to shut it down until it's
Again, my
cycles.
animal never went in there.
And that's
She
understandable.
got mad because
Okay.
I told her it was an American Disabilities Act.
Okay, well,
I told her service animal.
awesome.
She got mad and turned and walked away. She didn't ask me any questions. She came back later and says, "Oh, these are the questions I'm legally." I said, "Yeah, you're right. Those are the questions you should have approached me with."
Right.
Rather than coming up and telling me I got to get my fucking dog out in the park.
Okay.
Which is the way she came across to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Did she say the F word?
No, she didn't use,
Okay.
she didn't, it's on camera. I got it on camera. She did not swear, but
But
she did come across very rudely.
well,
She
just trying
in
to-
no way asked me anything about my dog. Come on, you got to get that dog out of here.
Okay.
No, I don't. It's a service animal.
And
I don't care whether it's a service animal or not. You got to get it out of
okay,
here.
service animals are allowed,
I know this.
but other than that, other dogs aren't, which. It's
And I understand
We
that.
have a city ordinance. That's.
I understand that.
But when it comes to that,
City ordinance still doesn't trump federal law.
okay, well, when it comes
Which
to
you understand
Right.
that. Yeah, I know you do, and we're not arguing. I'm not trying to
I
argue
just
with
have
you at
to-
all. You've been super.
I just have to follow the health with that because if they come and even if it's a service animal, they'll shut them.
Right.
And I feel bad.
And I
that the dog is
understand.
not,
I
going
understand
there.
that you're trying to protect people.
Right.
Okay. What she did was not.
Okay. Well, I get that
No.
part of it, because that's why she called me and I come down just so we can talk. That's why I said, hey, we just need to talk civilly because I'm not here to
Right.
cause them.
And I'm not here to cause a problem. I hope this is getting me as well. I am no way trying to cause you any issues. I hope I'm not come across to you in that way. I am upset.
I understand.
I'm very
And
upset.
they have the right to
Okay.
be upset.
I have a disability that prevents me from dealing with people because I served. Okay.
Well, I'm glad.
I didn't serve in the army. Okay. I served in the fire department. When I've dealt with a lot of dead, death, etc. Okay. And that gives me issues dealing with public, period.
Okay.
Okay. This animal allows me to come into public and deal with people on a one-to-one basis.
That's
You
good.
know, if she felt that I was in any way being aggressive right now, she would be over here protecting you. She'd be over here pushing me back.
No.
Because that's her job, which she can't do when she's on a leash. And that's why the American Disabilities Act provides for that exception.
Right. So
You know what I
I've
mean?
had him in here and for like a little boy, he had what was it the dog told me? But he'd just take off. And the dog was super cool. She had it on a leash and when it stood up, she'd let it off. And it'd walk over and sit. And as soon as it got to a certain point, that dog would go over there and muck the kid in the leg.
Exactly.
Turn it around and it'd come. And that's
And
I
that's
think
what
they're
these
super
animals are
trained.
for. That's,
It's awesome.
you don't see this animal
No,
acting in any way like
No.
it needs to even be on a leash.
No.
You'll never hear it bark. You'll never see it leave my side unless
No,
I
that's-
tell it to.
that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I carry that ID. I'm not required to have
No.
that ID. I
I
do
can't even
because
ask-
I've not
I
got
can't
a
even-
collar on
Right.
there. And because sometimes cops say, oh, well, you need license. Well, I've got all the licensing that she needs.
Right.
Just doesn't need to be on her because she's with me.
Right. No, that's
You know what I
and
mean?
Through the classes I learned.
Can I get your name?
Chad.
Chad, my name's Jeff.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
to meet.
Yeah, no, and through all the classes, that's, I can't even ask what, I can ask what service does it provide, but that's it.
Right.
Like, I can't say, hey, I
Is
need
it
to
a
see you
service animal?
and what,
Is it trained to provide something that I need to be
Right.
aware of? You need to be
Yeah.
aware of.
like, I really can't ask, like, why doesn't it have its vest on? You can
Exactly.
just go by those.
She
Let me
tried to
see your
tell me I had
documentation.
to put it on a leash. She
Yeah.
tried to tell me all kinds of things. She even told me that if she understood what that law. Well, if she understood what the American Disabilities Act meant and what it said, she would not have ever approached me in the manner she did.
Right. And all we're doing is she should just come and said, hey,
If
Hey,
she'd have
come
come up
back,
to me and
go
asked me if it was a service animal and I told her yes, if she'd asked me to keep it away from the pond or the water,
Right.
I just said yes. My dog doesn't want nothing to do with that chlorine
what, no,
infested
drink it.
water.
Yeah.
Exactly. My dog wanted to sit in the shade well away from that water, which is where she was. Laying down, not approaching it. She was doing just like she is now, laying in the shade, doing nothing. Sorry, we are live streaming right now. I've got a number of people watching us. I actually have a news television channel that I broadcast to. One of the things that I broadcast about is government accountability. One of the things I normally do is what's called an American Disabilities Act audit, of which you guys are failing miserably. Okay, you are doing really good. When I say you guys, I'm talking about my initial encounter until now. You are doing really good. The court of public opinion, all them people that are watching, my last video got 7,000 views in 4 hours. Those are the people who are going to be making the judgments. You know what I mean? It's the court of public opinion. Doesn't matter what I think, but it doesn't matter what she thinks or what you think. It's the people that are out here. And we're all watching now. Everybody's got a camera now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially where we work for the municipality. I'm not your fingernail all the time.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter
And I just need to commend you. You've been really kind with me. You've been courteous. You've been able to bring me down from the anger that I was having. You know what I mean? That is commendable. I hope that my viewers will get a hold of Spanish Fork City and let them know how good you're doing with this interaction. You know, because that's what I want to portray. I want people to see the good stuff, not just the bad stuff. Okay. But when something like that comes up, I'm going to document it.
Right.
You know, because that is a lawsuit. That's a big lawsuit. You know, and I know that the cities don't tend to think about that because they get sued all the time.
Well,
they
we just
say.
send us to it.
You know what I mean?
On it. And she's even been in it, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
Oh, she came off way out of line.
We
Had she approached me in the manner you did, hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, we can't have dog service now. Cool.
Right.
You crime. Exactly what we would expect in an audit. I didn't come here to audit. I came here for my dog. You know what I mean?
Well, if she'll stay here with you, I can turn it on for her. She wants to play in it.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I don't know if they will or not. They are very upset with the city right now.
She honestly, if she wants to, I'll turn it on for him as long as like what.
My dog won't ever go in your pad.
Well,
ever. No matter whether you know what I mean?
Unless
She don't want
to see her.
unless she's there to drag me or my daughter out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
but no, she don't want nothing to do with that water. She don't, you know what I mean?
Especially
Exactly. I know what. Okay, one of my side jobs, I'm a maintenance man. I work with swimming pools. I know what chemicals are in that water. I'm not letting my dog drink it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
no, if they do, I mean honestly, I can turn it back on if they want to play in it for a minute or.
All I really want is her name for the complaint.
Okay.
If you even just her first name, I've got her all over camera. I can identify her with a FOIA report.
No, that's fine.
But if you can give me her first name, I'm out of here.
Okay. Let me, Jared, the animal control guy that's over all this before I release, because I don't know what I'm allowed to as far as like personnel or however that is. Once he comes, he'll be able to find like I can release it or not. And where you've got mine, then I feel okay.
Are you her supervisor?
Yeah.
And what was your name again? Just
Chad.
so I have it, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get your last name for the record?
Houston.
Chad McHouston.
Yep.
That's good. And as long as you're her supervisor, I'll file my complaint with the city through you. Okay. And we can go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I would implore you to encourage her to go back to school in regards to the American Disabilities Act. The last thing you want to do when dealing with somebody who has PTSD is come up aggressive on them, acting like you have some kind of authority over them, because you don't. You work for us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what she did. And here's our police officer.
He's real good.
Cool.
Yeah.
It might be one of the guys I've dealt with before. I've actually reported people at this thing for improper behavior. You know what I mean?
Oh,
How you doing, officer? Can I get your name and badge number for the record? We're on camera, live streaming right now.
Officer Warner.
Officer Warner?
Yep.
And what's the badge?
7265.
7265. Service animal. Need I say any more?
Sure. They're required for disability.
Yes, service animal, my service animal.
Okay. And what service or task does it provide for the
Job is to go and fetch somebody in a uniform if I was to fall out and have a seizure. So she can't do her job when she's on a leash. That's why no leashes are required with this particular animal.
Okay. And that can fall under that. There's the different.
Oh,
things
believe
that
me,
happen.
I completely understand. I'm
And that's what's
extremely versed in
that's
the
what's
ADA.
hard to figure out just by a visual.
Right.
So that's where you have to have the conversation to
Right.
figure it out.
And that's perfect.
And
No,
there's people that misuse that
Absolutely.
and abuse the privileges that are
Absolutely.
there, right?
Absolutely.
So
So are you satisfied with what I've said?
yeah. So I don't
Okay.
know what the rest.
So that
of,
being said, I'm just going to show you this. I am not required to by any standards. Am I required to?
no.
But I want you to know that I am in no way, I just showed him a minute ago.
Okay.
I am in no way required to provide this identification. Well, if I can find it. Sorry, y'all got me a little bit fired up. Not you two. You two have been fabulous. You guys have been fabulous, okay?
We know it can be emotional.
You can
So
see
which
that
one?
that is her.
So
I
what,
got my
which
name
one's that
covered.
for? Yeah. I was just looking at who's services.
It's so I do
'Cause there's a
mine through
couple
the
of them.
USA Service Dog Registration of America. Okay, it's there's two of the largest in America. Okay, that is only a courtesy for those of you who are watching. That is only a courtesy of me
it's not-
providing them that ID. I do that because I absolutely want to set this officer at ease. I don't want him to feel that I'm here in any way in a bad way. Give you a gist of the rundown. My daughter and I showed up. He was in the pad. My service animal found a shady spot well away from the splash pad. I was standing there with my service animal observing my daughter. The other city worker who refuses to identify herself came up and very rudely started telling me I had to get out of the park. I had to get my dog out of the park. I told her service animal multiple times, gave her multiple opportunities to ask the proper questions, go through the proper motions, which she didn't do until about 45 minutes after the encounter started, which I have it all on camera, by the way. At that point, she came walking up and tried to stuff this card in my face, telling me that those are the questions she's legally allowed to ask, which I told her, yeah, you probably should have started with that instead of all the aggression before. Chad here, her direct supervisor, has assured me that he'll take her and give her some education on the matter.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with that on his part. I may follow up with a complaint later on just to see what can come about this. Because I don't want anybody that's a veteran, any of my fellow police officers or firefighters to come out here and deal with this type of harassment because they have their service animal.
Yeah.
That was uncalled for on her part.
And that's
all
totally
could have
not
been-
our intention.
No, and it all could have been settled had she approached me the way Chad did. Chad was beautiful.
Chad's a
all
good guy.
matters. So
He's a good guy.
yeah,
It just like it becomes emotional.
it does. I get
Yeah.
very fired up. I have issues. I have issues. Thank God that she said I'm not having issues
Yeah.
today.
And,
You know what I mean?
and so what's really hard with us as far as like the splash pads go, that Chad maybe already explained that, is it's regulated like a pool.
Right.
And so animals,
so let me-
even service
let me
animals
tell
are
you
not
that.
allowed in a pool. For that
They are allowed in the pool area. Because
in the
they
area, but not in
cannot
the water.
do their job
But not
if
in the
they're
water.
separated from their handler.
Yeah.
Which means if I have a seizure in the pool, my dog is allowed to go retrieve me. That's the dog's job.
Right. But just
Now that
like
doesn't mean that
generally
she's in there
swimming.
swimming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the difference.
My service animal never even went near that water. First off, I'm a pool guy. So that
So
I
now
can
you
get-
understand.
I know exactly what the rules are.
cleanliness and-
That's one of the
Yeah,
jobs I
regulations,
do,
okay.
okay? No, service animals are absolutely allowed in them areas.
And
No, they're not allowed to be playing,
if it
That's a
was an
different thing.
issue,
you know?
if you were in the water and the dog and you had a seizure and the dog ran
The
out,
dog has to do its job.
we wouldn't even be worried about that. We'd
Exactly.
just go through the process of shutting
Exactly.
down and restarting it. And that's it.
Exactly.
So I mean, You shouldn't have any other questions.
I don't.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I think you said, did he satisfy your,
I don't know.
there's really nothing that can be done other than you guys say, I'm sorry that you got hassled and we all move on from here.
Yeah, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I
Thank
came
you.
in.
That right there,
That-
that right
that's
there,
never our
that right
intent.
there is gonna save the city from me going full blown on that.
Right. Well,
Okay, I don't ever want to file a lawsuit. I don't ever want to do
Yeah.
that. That takes time and money that I don't have. Okay. However, I have
It's
brothers.
needed.
I have brothers that are out there currently eating smoke right now. And when they get done fighting them fires or responding up that canyon to that accident, and they start having issues, they're going to need some extra help. And one of them might turn to one of these four-legged companions. And when they do, I don't want anybody harassing my brothers because they needed one of these companions with them in a public setting,
Yeah, for sure.
you know. So please, if you'll just school her on that, it was all about her attitude. Had her attitude came across in any way kind, she would have got an entirely different response from me, as you guys have seen.
no, I'm glad when I got out, it kind of de-escalated once we started.
Absolutely.
Here to harass you.
I got 27 hours. I can follow that golf all day long. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I am going to move on.
And I'm gonna turn that on if you guys, if he still wants to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
What was your dog's name?
That is Jazz.
Yes.
Yep.
How old?
She is 8 years old now.
You've had her quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see how well behaved she is.
Yeah.
Always. Whether I'm in a building, out here, it don't matter. She is the example of a service animal.
Well, and those are the
So-
ones we want around.
Absolutely.
It's just hard when you get them when they
When people are
don't-
pretending.
pretending.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, you did great, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
You too. You both did great on
Not
that.
a problem.
I am going to walk away. Normally, I make you guys leave first just because the camera's here. Okay? Because I don't want anybody to think you're chasing me off. But I got an apology from you guys. As far as I'm concerned, it's a done deal.
You're definitely welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right. There you go, folks. Let me see if I can't turn this around. There you go. As you can see, I'm all kinds of pretty today. It's 105 degrees in the shade right now. I came out here to the beautiful Spanish Fork Park to play in this splash pad with my daughter. And because I have a service animal with me, people decided to hassle me. Hey, Innocent, I appreciate you joining in. So yeah, I just had a pretty good interaction with that Spanish Fork police officer. He acted appropriately. That lady's appropriately saved them a anyway, folks. I appreciate y'all for joining me here, witnessing that. I did start out with a static recording when I decided that she had called the law enforcement on me, and kind of glad I did. Come on, Jack. Load up. Load up.
See, Tegan.
All right, folks. I am going to sign off here. I have other things to do today.